Howdy-ho, Andrew here, aka Kelp here. Welcome to the Onion Buns, and welcome to another edition of Hilarious Gaming Stories. So, we're going to keep going down the DAOC rabbit hole. Hey all, just a quick mention here. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on the videos you like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, which helps me. Takes 2 seconds. So, thanks in advance. My last video I mentioned my duel with Lane. So I did have one more memorable duel and a bunch of unmemorable ones, but this one was it was amazing. It actually gathered a crowd of about, I'm going to say, around 35-40 players who just stood there watching, commenting. They were actually betting on the duel. The reason this stood out to them is it was two paladins. Now, I had a reputation on my server. Like, when I tell you I was one of the best paladins, that's not my ego. That is what other people always told me. Truth be told, most of those people told me I was the best paladin on the server. But that's here and there. So I had a lot of people coming up asking for duels. And honestly, mostly it was 5-7 minutes done, split. You know, it really was. Didn't matter what class, be it paladin, armsman, except for Lane, who came prepared with all his healing and stamina potions. Rogues, you know, Sarsar was really the only rogue that ever took me down of Albion players. I can't stress enough how much of a monster he was in that class. But he relied on getting that special back attack chain. If he didn't hit all three chains, he wasn't taking me down. But when he hit all three chains, I don't think there was a character in the game that could stand up to him. It was just a really hard positional chain to hit. I believe what it was he had to hit from behind, then he had to shift and hit from the side, and then he had to shift and hit from behind. So it was a lot of movement, a lot of timing, and not an easy chain to pull off, which is what you would expect for a chain that does that much damage. This is one of the things I liked about DAOC is early DAOC. Unfortunately, they changed this in later years. And it just became, everybody had unlimited stamina. I think they actually got rid of the chains completely because too many people were bitching it was too hard for them. And it dumbed everything down. But that early DAOC, it's like to get your special attacks, to do your special abilities, you had to know what you were doing, you had to time it, and you had to be lucky. So anyway, we were standing around waiting for a raid to happen. And a paladin I'd never heard of, he comes up to me, he goes, I hear about your reputation, I want to challenge you to a duel. Now, he was a sword and shield paladin like me, so I knew he wasn't going to do a lot of damage because I didn't do a lot of damage. So I kind of knew if he knows how to play his class, this could be a long one. And boy, was I right. This duel went 65 minutes, real time. And as I said, they delayed the raid to watch the duel. That's how focused these players were on watching this duel. They were betting with each other on who was going to win. And it was attack and counterattack and block and stun and twisting chance galore. Finally, after 65 minutes of this, and my fingers were so sore, truth be told, I was ready to surrender. Not because I was losing, like neither of us were getting the upper hand on each other. It really was a stalemate, but my fingers were getting sore. 65 minutes of, you're doing chains from 1 to 8 and your other hand, you're moving and you're attacking and it wears you down after a bit. And I'm sure he was feeling the same way. And I think that's what ended is, I think he got tired and sore just like I was, and he started to make some mistakes, and that was the opening I needed to come in and win the duel. But it was 65 bloody minutes of this. Just as I said, it was attack, counterattack, block, stun, twisting chance galore. I wish Discord or Twitch or even like I use an NVIDIA video card, and on the NVIDIA experience, I can record my gameplay if I want. I wish that technology had existed then, because I would have loved to have this Duel on record, like in video form, because it was freaking amazing. The only thing I can compare it to is some of my Neverwinter Nights on AOL PvP matches. And there was tons of tactics that were required in the Neverwinter Nights PvP matches, but they did not go 65 minutes. Like even the Lost Hills, where everyone kept entering, that didn't even go 65 minutes. So this was an anomaly, and it was amazing. It was freaking amazing. Even if I had lost, I didn't lose, but even if I had lost, I would not have felt any shame or disappointment in that. It was 2 players who had mastered their class. That's really what it came down to. And yeah, it was like, it had the blood pumping and the adrenaline going. And as I said, I keep saying it, 65 bloody minutes, 1 hour and 5 minutes. And so we finished that, and both of us had to bow out of the raid. We were so mentally exhausted after the duel. We're like, yeah, we can't do the raid. I'm sorry, everyone, but we just can't do it. We had to take a break, go touch grass, go, have a coffee, just de-stress, I guess would be the proper terminology. So anyway, yeah, that was my probably my greatest duel. Honestly, it probably was my greatest duel of all time. I don't remember who the character was. Like I said, I'd never heard of him, which was strange because Dark Age of Camelot, I don't know about the other realms, but Albion was really, really close knit. Like everybody knew everyone. And yeah, so I don't know where he came from, and I never saw him again. So maybe he just was from another realm, rolled up a character, heard of me, and wanted to test his merit. Could be possible. So anyway, that's my story for this week. If you like the video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders. Always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage you to leave a comment. It gets us interacting, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm in promoting my videos to a greater audience. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching.